All right. Well, at least we got that out of the way. Sorry about that, we had to fix some audio, but here we go. Krista, let us know if you can hear everything fine right away. Alright, here we go, guys. Alright, live from my room. It's the 2020 Quarantine the Game Show debate. Our streaming software is flowing nicely. The participants have probably showered, and our audience is here to see who has what it takes to be the next host of Quarantine the Game Show.
If elected, I promise I will continue to fight for, and often with, you.
Oh wait, he's serious? When does he want to do this thing? Tonight?
Good evening, everyone. I'd like to welcome all of our viewers here tonight for this monumental event. I'm your moderator, Bro Incognito. With your help and votes, by the end of the evening, we will be announcing the new host of Quarantine the Game Show. During this debate, we'll have several rounds in which the candidates will be asked the important questions necessary for the further success of this show, and also have the opportunity to address you, the viewers, with their responses. Over the course of the debate, I'll be keeping a tally of the score from each round, and at the end of the show, we'll have a live poll in the chat for our audience to cast their final votes for bonus points. I'd like to start the evening by introducing our candidates. The incumbent, Chris Iannucci.
Hello, good evening, everyone.
Hello.
It's wonderful to see you all.
How are you this evening, Chris?
I'm good, Al. Thank you very much for asking, and thank you again for moderating this event tonight. I'm excited, and I'm thrilled to be here for my constituents.
It is my pleasure. Awesome. Thank you for being here with us tonight. And running against him, we have Tommy Spears.
Good evening, my fellow members of Quarantine Nation.
Tommy, welcome. Are you excited? Are you excited for this evening?
Al, would you hold for their applause for a second?
Oh, sorry. Yes, my bad.
So sorry about that. You go ahead.
No, that's fine. Tommy, are you excited to be here this evening?
Thank you for that question, Al. I'm very excited to be here. I'm in good health, good spirits, and most importantly, I feel very free, both due to the actual freedom my party has achieved and a number of pills and aid gave me before this debate.
Fantastic. I'd like to start out by giving each candidate a moment to make their opening statements, starting with Tommy. Mr. Spears, if you'll start us off this evening.
Yes, of course, Al. Let me start by saying thank you for moderating and thank you for your bravery during your ordeal in the basement. My message in this time is simple. We're going to reform quarantine. We've all had enough of the norm. We've all had enough of wearing masks over our mouths and noses. For many of us, including myself, those are the most attractive parts of our face, and we're going to find new ways to emphasize that facial beauty, while at the same time dethroning Chris and making sure that we lock him up. Do I have any extra time?
You have about 15 more seconds.
I'll give a shout out to my nephew. Thanks.
Fantastic. Let me see. Where do we go? Chris, you're up next.
Yes, thank you, Al.
The floor
and,
is yours, Mr. Iannucci.
Thank you, Mr. Iannucci, and thank you for everyone at home. My fellow Quarantinians, I speak to you tonight not as a host, but as a fellow social distancer. Now, despite how you may see me when I am on the air, I am just like yourselves. I put my face mask on one ear at a time, and I too understand the rigors of living under a pandemic. And that's why when I started Quarantine, the game show 4 years ago, I did so with one purpose: to give people an opportunity to laugh and escape, and in some small way feel a connection with those who they can't see in person, and also because it was either this or start a podcast. Now, there's been a lot of talk from my opponent about my hosting ability and whether or not I'm the right person for the job, but I want you all to take a moment and just remember the two most important tasks of a game show host: a great head of hair and having the facts. So I encourage you, as this debate progresses, to ask yourselves, who has facts on their side in this election? Of the two of us, who holds the knowledge and is most adept at providing the truth? Because if 2020 has taught us anything at all, it's that not listening to the facts can get us all into a lot of trouble. And also, it's still possible for people to get fooled by Borat, even though that movie came out 14 years ago. So in conclusion, we need to stay the course with Quarantine, the game show. The state of the game show is strong. And under my leadership, this show, much like the number of COVID cases in the United States, has nowhere to go but up. Thank you very much.
I'd like to thank you both. Fantastic statements. We're going to switch now. We're going to have some questions for our candidates. So we'll be bringing people on to ask the candidates the important stuff. First, with questions, we have live from an undisclosed location, a reporter from a news station on a channel.
Hello, person. Coming to you live from a place. I am Blonde Lady, and this is an election. Some elections can lead to tragedy. Some make history, while many are hailed as comedies parading fools and clowns. Well, hopefully your heart beats for the people of the Kingdom of Quarantine, the game show, because this trivia is no joke. I have some questions for our candidates that involve how they would handle difficult situations that could potentially lead to tragedy if handled poorly, in a category I'm calling Election Pursued by Bear. Remember, candidates, there may be a real answer, but that doesn't mean it's the right answer. So be yourself and answer honestly. Speak what we feel, not what we ought to say, but keep it brief. Now, first question, Tommy will answer first, and then Chris will follow. Imagine you're an insecure but successful military man, and 3 magical beings tell you that you can become king if you kill the current ruler, but warns that other tragic events are going to follow. Your wife says, hell yes, let's do it, even though the king is a longtime friend. What do you do?
First off, I want to thank you for that brave question, that brave Scottish question. I also want to thank you for your blondness in reporting the news. That's very important these days. Now, you've asked a question that's as old as, well, not time, I guess as old as witches. It's a question that's as old as witches, and it's one that faces every leader on a world stage. Would you kill the current leader? Yes, of course I would. There's no question about that. Not only Chris, but pretty much any other leader in power. I think, I believe in shaking things up. Is my wife crazy? Would she lead me to do more murders? Probably. But I got to be honest. The crazier she gets, the more attractive I find her. Yeah, no, I know. And look, I'll be honest. My relationship with my wife has been a topic that's come up a few times on the campaign trail. Did she get me to murder my best friend and his family? Yes, she did. I've been very open about that from the start. I think the important thing to remember is that when you're going to kill a king, there's 2 things you have to do. First, never, ever say his name, Chris. Second, you best not miss. And I hope that answers your question. If not, I can double back.
Toil and trouble. Great answer, friend.
I don't understand the rest.
If I have a moment to respond, and first and foremost, again, thank you, blonde reporter person, for your wonderful question. I believe, as a lifelong pacifist, that the importance of whatever your endeavors are, regardless of their whether or not their hosting abilities or ruling a kingdom, the most important thing that you need to do is to seek harmony amongst those who view you. And I believe where I differ extremely from my counterpart here in Mr. Spears is that there's no need to kill the king. there's no need to grab for an excess of power. You know, why are we trying to divide each other in these very diverse and very stressful times? Why can't I and my wife just enjoy our time with the king? I believe the answer to your question is none, is nil. I would do none of those things. I would remain.
If I may rebut real quickly. Let me just interrupt. Let me just interrupt right over your answer. Chris, you talk about not needing to divide people, but you're someone who very clearly doesn't have the strength to divide your friend directly in half if he betrays you. All right, and I'm dunking on this fool.
Now that's just a lot of malarkey. Okay, that's a lot of malarkey straight out of the gate, and you're gonna get more of that with this Joker here. Okay, if he's behind the podium posting quarantine. That's all I have to say about that.
Okay. All right. Well, that was quite the answer from both of you. Now, if you chose, and I believe one of you did, to freak out and let your wife commit murder, and then slowly descend into madness as you try to cover up the murder, with more murder and then eventual death of both you and your wife and a lot of other people, then you'd be right. Because these are the events that occurred in William Shakespeare's Macbeth, if you didn't pick up on that already.
Oh.
Yeah, wild. And now, audience, for this question, we'll need your input as to who gave your favorite or best or, the answer that you liked in the comments. And I believe our moderator will be...
I'll be watching closely, whoever you are.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you for that. And thank you for moderating.
We'll be starting with Christopher Iannucci.
Yes.
Now imagine you're a rich, sad boy, and your dad has just died. Your mom announces that she is about to marry your uncle, just as what appears to be the ghost of your dad reveals to you that he was killed by that very same uncle. What do you do?
Well, first of all, I take time to mourn the passing of any family member. It's a hard time, and it's important to make sure that you give yourself the personal space that you need to fully bereave and be in the proper state of mind. But more importantly, I think it's a good time to reach out and find the person or persons who were responsible, and make sure that they seek that they receive extreme justice, but under the proper eye of the law. That would be my personal response to your query.
Wow, that was an answer. All right, Thomas Paine Spears.
Could I hear a quick summary of that question again, please?
You're a rich, sad boy, and your mom's marrying your uncle who probably killed your dad. What do you do?
Well, again, I want to thank you for that. I also want to point out that I don't think my opponent was ready for that situation, and if it is not to come, it will be now, and if it be not now, 'tis to come. The readiness is all. So I guess to answer your question, I would say immediately I would put on all black and begin talking to myself. It's part of my thinking process. Then I would try to convince everyone I was mad. Then I would realize they already thought that, and I would try to work back the other way. Then I think I'd just go on a murder spree. Really try to freak my girlfriend out. And, gosh, am I missing anything in this plan? Oh, I know these two guys, right? Very hardworking, average Joes. They work in a graveyard. I guess I'd just like to get drunk with those two cockneys one more time before I killed my uncle-father/mother.
Aye, there's the rub. Thank you for your answers, gentlemen. It sounds like one of you answered very, very similarly to what happens in the events of Hamlet, also by William Shakespeare. Hamlet was a very contemplative gentleman, but he made a lot of very poor choices. Now imagine, this next question. Al Iannucci.
Yes.
Award your points.
Oh, that one is going to go to Tommy.
Okay.
I wasn't sure who you were talking to. This is Bro Incognito.
Oh, bro. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Next question is for Thomas Spears to start.
Thank you.
Now imagine you're an elderly father and king with 3 heirs.
Not hard to imagine. It is true.
Sorry?
That is all true, yes.
Yes, you are that. Only 1 out of your 3 children is not an asshole. But on the day you write your will, your 2 shitty kids suck up to you. But your only not shitty kid refuses to say nice things to you. What do you do about that one?
Well, I gotta be honest. When one of my girls gives me lip, it puts me in a real table flipping mood. Is my fool present to maybe diffuse the situation?
A fool is always present.
And is he on my side, or is he speaking enigmatically in riddles?
The real question is the fool you?
Oh no, that is a good question. Okay. Assuming that I'm both the fool and the king, I first put on an erotic puppet show. I find those to be very funny. I think that's amusing. That'll cut the tension. Speaking of cutting, I cut my daughter, who won't say nice things to me, right out of my well. I immediately strip off all of my clothes to make a point, and I walk naked right out into the rain. Because that is what this country needs. Not to be divided by swords, like I said earlier, but to backtrack on that comment, like I'm doing right now with my hands. And ultimately, to get a little more in touch with our crazy side. Maybe that's what this establishment needs. Maybe that's what it needed all along. But maybe we're all just too blind to see it. Now, unlike my friend, whose eyes I recently gouged out, I kind of forget what we were arguing about. Does that answer the question?
The Prince of Darkness is a gentleman, and that gentleman might be Tommy Spears. Christopher Iannucci, your answer.
You know, I got to start by saying, if you're looking for a fool, you're not going to find one right here. Okay. Now my opponent here, he may send you up one way and bring you down the next way with his words and his rigmarole and his spinning around and his facts, and his non-facts, and his refacting his non-facts. But there's one thing that I can guarantee, and that is, as a host and a leader, I will answer the questions. If there are questions, I will give you answers to those questions, and that is my job. And thank you very much.
The real question is, did you answer that question? Al Iannucci is not here. Bro Incognito?
We're going to go, those points are also going to Tommy Spears on this one.
Okay. And do we have a vote counted for our audience votes on question number 1?
We did. We actually had 3 votes coming in for Christopher Iannucci, with 2 votes coming in for Tommy Spears.
Okay. So it looks like 2 out of 3 questions went to Tommy, and 1 went to Christopher Iannucci.
Correct.
Now that is my time. So good luck, candidates. And remember, some rise by sin, and others by virtue fall. Back to you, man running this debate.
All right. Thank you, whoever that was. We're going to be moving on now to our second person that will be providing questions. Up next, possibly the most important person a candidate could try to appeal to. Live from their apartment, we have the undecided voter. Hello, undecided voter. The floor is yours.
Oh, hello. Well, I haven't been paying a whole lot of attention to most of the process, so I have questions. I'm undecided, so perhaps you could answer for me just a few things I'd like cleared up. Mr. Iannucci, I'll start with you. How do I know when an election is serious enough to seek medical attention?
When an election is serious enough?
Yeah.
So I believe if it's an open election, one thing that you'll need to look for is a discoloration around the edges of the election. Perchance, if the election has been going on for a long time and has not been adequately treated, that it may develop an aroma. Sometimes it may smell like almonds. Sometimes it may resemble a sponginess, not unlike a moist cake. In that instance, you then should really seek out help from an election official.
Oh, all right. So I'm going to have to get my nose right up in there then, huh?
I would recommend that. It's always important to be well informed as a voter, and you can never be more informed than when you trust your sense of smell.
Sure. Well, I guess that's something. All right, Mr. Spears, I'm concerned about my vote. Now, does everyone get a vote, and will it be delivered to my house, or do I have to go pick it up? Also, will it come with batteries, and will I need or does it have any attachments?
These are all wonderful questions, undecided. Let me try to take them in order. Does everyone get a vote? Well, yes and no. Yes, we would like everyone to get a vote. No, most of the country will not get to vote. Do you get a vote? Yes, you do. As an undecided voter, you're the only person whose vote actually matters. Now, will that be delivered to your home? Sure. If you live on a house vote, the vote will come to you by sail. If you live on land, unfortunately, it's going to take longer. That comes by rail. Now, does it come with batteries? Yes, but the batteries aren't necessary. That's just for you. That's a gift. They're 3 AA's. I find them good for remotes. That's usually what I use mine for. But, you know, I think they're good for whatever you want. If you got like a Game Boy or a Game Boy Color, something along those lines. You know, I think like a lot of hardworking Americans, we all need a break. We want to indulge in nostalgia from our childhoods in the 90s, you know, and remember playing things like Pokemon Gold, that kind of thing. Your last question, I think, was about attachments. I never opened those, so I don't trust them fully. But I would say, yeah, the vote's probably going to come with some attachments. If you can scan them first, it's going to help you a lot.
All right. I'll keep that in mind. Definitely. Thank you. That's very good advice. Back to Mr. Iannucci. What are your plans to make sure that we don't have a second wave of elections down the line? We're running into elections now. Who's to say we won't have another wave of elections 3 months from now?
Well, thank you very much, Undecided, for that question. And I, like most people who watched the show Quarantine, the game show, was completely caught off guard by this particular election, in that I never saw it as an even remote possibility, particularly because I am the sole creator and host of the show up until about 12 hours ago. But I should say, first and foremost, that I believe in an open and democratic game show platform. Now, with that being said, I believe that in order for a game show to run effectively, you need a solid hand at the wheel. And I think that you will find by the end of this election, given the opportunity to continue to host this show, most people will be more than happy with the results that they'll receive from me, and nobody will ever want to yet again interrupt my reign as host. I mean, my role as host.
All right. I like that. Thank you. Mr. Spears, if you're the new host, how effective will a mask be?
That's a great question. I want to thank you for that question again. I want to thank Chris for botching the last answer so that I could answer this question.
A lot of malarkey. Okay, can we?
Let's, please. Now, you know, when my opponent says facts, what he means are fakes. And when he says fakes, he means face. His accent is very confusing. How effective will a mask be under me? It'll be very effective. Masks will be 30 to 40% more frightening. I'm talking about werewolf masks. I'm talking about goblin masks. I'm talking about, I'm talking about a Michael Myers mask, which itself is just a spray-painted Captain Kirk mask. That's a William Shatner. That's a bit of franchise for the lore. You know,
I should point out that that was a question that I wrote for last week's Halloween show. Mr. Spears got that information from myself.
That's not true. I listened to a podcast about the Halloween movies. The fact that I saw it last week on Quarantine is entirely coincidental. But, you know, that's what this is all coming down to, is this man wants to hold power. I'm not even running because I want to, all right? I was asked to run at a rally that I was hosting. And, you know, I'm doing it as a service to those quarantine voters. He says he wants a fair and open democratic game show. He won't even reveal what the final questions are. Under me, both the final questions and the answer to those questions will be public knowledge.
All right. Wow. Mr. Iannucci, I have another for you. If you're the host, what are your possible side effects? And also, do you have a comparable generic version available?
Excellent question. First of all, I should point out I still am the host. As host, my side effects are hilarity, a general and even temper that most contestants find very calming and welcoming, especially if it's their first time on the show. And in some cases, pregnant women may get nauseous. But aside from that, I don't think that you'll find a comparable generic version of myself as a host. I think the best you could hope for would be some bland Canadian, possibly tall, very skinny, with maybe a third the lusciousness of hair that I have, and half the amount of banter.
Check in with my medical provider to see what's covered anyway. Now, I have one final open question. This is for both of you because I feel like I need all the answer I can get on this. What is Bitcoin? What is it? How does it work? Why is it a thing?
Do you want to go first? Do you want to go first? I don't.
We could tag team it if you want.
I can't. So it's like if you have, it's not like a, you know those coins in Mario?
Yeah, imagine that money is just information and...
But there's a chain.
There's a chain, yes.
But it's not a real chain. It's a,
yeah.
And then the computers have to do something.
Yes, yes.
And then basically everybody was rich, but now they're not.
I use Dogecoin. I found that the market stayed pretty steady on Dogecoin.
Oh, well...
I'm not sure how that works either.
Thank you, gentlemen. That was about as understandable as I'm sure the real answer is. That's all the questions that I have. I'll send it back to you.
Alrighty. Thank you very much, and hopefully their answers will help you make up your mind, undecided voter.
Who knows?
Alright, so we're going to take a moment to have a word from one of our sponsors, and we'll be right back with the debate.
Hi, I'm quarantine game show host candidate Tommy Spears, and as you can see by my rolled up sleeves and loosened tie, I've been working hard. Now I know we're all sick of these partisan political ads about who kidnapped his own brother and who was brave enough to free said brother from a basement, but that's why I'm coming to you today to talk about something different, about why I think you should vote yes on Prop 256. Now Prop 256 is pretty simple to understand. It's this prop here, a skull wearing a clown's wig. Now, what is Prop 256 here to address? Well, it could be a lot of things. Maybe it's a sketch about Hamlet. Maybe it's cross-promotional tie-in with It Too, that had a killer clown in it. Or maybe it's a grim reminder that writing comedy during an event of mass death is really just a distraction from the fact that we're all mortals and bound to die. Truly the fools of nature. But we won't know unless you vote yes on Prop 256. So please, chime in right in the comments and let us know. Thanks.
Alright, welcome back, guys. So, I decided that I was going to be on the show this week because I don't often get a chance to be. And just a moment, sorry. Alright, here we go. So, I just want to say it's been a great journey so far with the show. It started out with, just me and Chris. Now we have a great crew on board, included Chris' opponent, Tommy. Hey, Tommy, how's it going?
Al, it's great to see you. I'm glad to see you're not locked up. Can you show us your wrists so we don't see...
Thank you again. I'm kind of little still self-conscious about my wrists, so I'm going to keep them,
That's fair.
Right. So I feel that it's only fair, since it started out as a brothers, doing a show, that along with becoming the new host of Quarantine, the winner's also going to be my new brother as well. So the following round is going to be to see who knows me better, and will be the next new brother, the better brother, So I'm going to start with Chris. What's up, dude? How you been?
Hey, what's up, bro?
Doing good, good.
I'm good as usual. I mean,
I
we talk
would
every
have
day.
loved to host a debate. I appreciate you at least letting me sneak in my little thing here. So let's go for it. So Chris, as my potential brother, okay, you're gonna need to know some basic facts about me, stuff every brother should know in case of emergencies and tough situations. Chris, what is my blood type?
You are AB negative.
Unfortunately, that is incorrect, Chris. I'm extremely sorry, and I would be even more sorry if I was bleeding out right now and you told the medics the wrong answer.
I'm pretty sure. Okay.
Yeah. I even verified. I checked my blood card. I'm AB positive, Chris.
Oh, come on.
You were very, very close, but that's okay.
All right.
So, Tommy, how's it going, Tommy? How are you today?
It's going really good. Al, I got to say, I know that you always be positive.
Yes, thank you.
So
along the same lines, Tommy, a brother should know the likes and the dislikes of a sibling. So can you tell me what my favorite soda is?
That's a wonderful question, and I'm grateful that you asked it. There's a lot of wonderful sodas out in the market, and there's none of them that are wrong, but I know that yours are the 23 refreshing flavors of Dr. Pepper. You like a medical man in your mouth, and that's fine. That's what I like too.
I definitely didn't think that you were going to know that. So yeah, thank you, Tommy. That's super exciting that you knew that.
Anytime. I'm looking forward to our weekend together at the lake.
Yes, again. Yes, last time was so great. Thank you.
Really
Wait, there was a last time?
It was you couldn't make it. Okay, Chris. That first one might have thrown you for a loop, but I'm rooting for you here on this one. Super easy.
I hope. I super hope you will.
Super easy. You know me like the back of your hand. Chris, can you tell me what I had for breakfast today?
I wasn't. I wasn't
but
there.
I'm in
Chicago. You're in. Okay, I'm gonna guess just because I know it's one of your favorite things. I'm gonna say you made fried potatoes with bacon and eggs.
Chris, I didn't have breakfast today. I thought we talked and I was saying, my stomach was like kind of like bothering me a little bit, and I figured you'd remember or like pick up the little signs. You know what I mean?
Why?
I guess not though. So all right, let's move on. Tommy, some of the things are harder to know about siblings than others. There's so many different shows today. I thought that a real brother would know which one was my favorite. Can you tell me what my favorite TV show is? There's so many. I know it's like very difficult to tell.
It's a tough question. I know you're a science fiction lover.
Yes.
But I know that you also don't subscribe to the Sci-Fi Channel
I don't.
$30
because that's expensive.
Yeah, that's an unfair package. Let's see. I know you liked Community, but that's not on the air, and you did specify on the air. Dan Harmon's been doing some stuff. He's Harmon Quest, but that's not really on the air either. That's on the web. What's his other one? It's about the Back to the Future characters. Rick and Morty.
Yes! Oh my God, you knew it.
I did. I knew
that. Tommy, that's what? Chris, what?
I feel like you're really slanting this. Is this because I locked you in a basement?
No. This has nothing. This is
Chris,
this is just fun. Question. Like I just want to know who gets me, who knows me,
Okay, that's all right.
Chris, I am a little disappointed. There's still time to catch up, though. Neither of us were really into sports growing up, but for a while, I did play baseball, like 2 months, remember?
Yeah.
Can you tell me the name of the baseball team that I was on when I was like 9?
Okay, this was in Pawtucket, and you were on the Darlington Little League team, and it was the Darlington Tigers? No, it wasn't Tigers. It was the Darlington. I know it was Darlington.
You're changing your stripes, Chris. That's a tiger joke.
I get the tiger joke. Thank you, Tommy. I believe this is my time. I want to say it was just Darlington Little League, wasn't it?
It was not. It was the league was Darlington Little League, but I played on a team called Swansea Photo. Thank you again for Swansea Photo for sponsoring our team.
In my defense, you were in 2nd grade. I was in kindergarten.
It just sounds like you didn't care. I'm just.
I was this many. I was. Oh.
But it's just getting slightly warm in here. Before I answer the next question, if I could just, because
please take your time, relax.
Two T-shirts. It's just so. Anyway, Tommy, we may not have grown up together, but that's really an important part of brotherhood. Movies, comics were a big part of that. Can you tell me who my favorite female comic book character was? I'm just going to read this while you think about it.
Sure. Female comic book characters.
Yes, yeah.
This actually leads me into a point of mine, which is that under me there will be more females represented in the DC Extended Universe, which I know you love DC, more DC than Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. You don't like Poison Ivy, I know, because you got a weird thing about her being half plant. Oh, it's probably Catwoman, right? It's got to be Catwoman? But no, that's too obvious. That's too obvious of one. You're a funny guy. You like to joke around.
I do. I am a joker.
And, of course, the Joker's girlfriend and then later ex-girlfriend, I think, and one-time therapist was Harley Quinn. whose real name I can't remember. I'm going to say Harley Quinn.
Harley Quinn is correct. I don't know how you're getting these. It's ridiculous. We didn't even like grow up together, but it's like we know each other. It's crazy.
For the record, I knew that one. I knew the answer to that one. Well, I could have answered that if you had given me that question.
Well, where were you on the Little League question, Chris?
I was sitting in kindergarten coloring outside of the lines because I hadn't developed the skills yet.
Yeah.
And you never will.
All right, Chris, you're up.
Hey, Mason.
All right. For those of you that don't know, this is my son, Mason. So,
okay.
All right, Chris, this is your last chance. Just a reminder, being a good brother is important, but along with that comes being a good uncle. So here's your nephew, Mason, with your final question.
Hi, Mason.
Hi. Uncle Chris, what's my favorite color?
I'm sorry, what is your favorite color?
Yes.
Green. Mace. Come
Mason,
on. But you always.
We'll talk about it when I get to the house, Mason. It's going to be okay.
You have that Minecraft hoodie that you always wear, and it's green with the brick dude on it. And
Chris.
All right, I'm gonna have to go talk to him once this is anyway.
I believe you,
Tommy. Final question of the round. It's a doozy. It's a hard one. But seeing as you might be my new brother, I thought it would be important to ask you something about you. Tommy, what's your favorite food and why?
Wait.
There's a lot of great answers to this question. And before I even answer, let me say first off, Mason, I'm sorry for how hard your night is going, and I want to wish hello to Alan, Kathy. I'm sure you're watching tonight. I'd be very excited to be your new son. My favorite, I like to go the classic American route of a simple pepperoni pizza with beer. I like to enjoy it with friends in an open space where none of us are wearing masks and we're very close together. Because everyone in this country and on this game show is my family.
That was moving, Tommy. It really was.
I would also like to say hello to my mother and father. And Mom and Dad, I know you're watching, and I love you very much. And I'm looking forward to staying in the family.
We'll see.
All right. Thanks, guys. Thanks for answering all my questions to the best of your abilities. And I can't wait to see who's going to be my new brother. Bye, Tommy.
Bye, Al. Stay safe.
Bye, Al.
Sit down and stand by.
Al, I'm also saying bye to you.
It's okay, Chris. He's gone.
We're going to do an ad now.
Hi. It's me again, average blue-collar working Joe game show host Tommy Spears, and I'm here to ask you to vote no on Prop 131. Prop 131 will hurt your family. As you can see, it's this prop of a provocative lady's Halloween costume. Now, what is this mask? Some sort of evil fairy or perhaps attractive vampire lady? We don't know, and that's the real issue. None of us know what Prop 131 is here to do. Is it to convince us to invite beautiful vampires into our homes? Or is it to get our children to dabble in the dark arts? That's the thing. We just don't know.
All right, and we are back. So, now we have our last person coming to ask questions, but certainly not least. We have someone who flew in especially for this debate to see what all the buzz was about. Live, directly from Chris's apartment, we have the debate fly.
Oh my God, is this thing on?
Yes, it's on, and you are live, debate fly.
Hi, candidates. I'm a fly. My name is Buzz Aldrin. No relation to the astronaut, but my great-grandfather did used to live in the dumpster at the NASA headquarters, so I think maybe he was a little inspired. Flies are really having a moment right now, so I wanted to take the opportunity to bless this debate with a fly of its own. A little about me. My hobbies include things like defecating wherever I land and landing on your turkey sandwich right before you're going to take a bite. Tee, I'm cute. All right, so I just have a couple of questions that will go to both candidates. I'll give you time to answer. So now, first of all, as a housefly, I taste everything with my feet. I was on Chris's head a little while ago, and I can tell you Chris's shampoo is very nice. So I would like to know both of your hair care routines. Tommy.
We'll start with me.
Yes, I'm familiar with your hair care routine.
First of all, I want to thank you for everything you're doing right now. The fly community is facing a lot of prejudice. People think in these days, anything airborne is bad, but of course, flies are the best thing to be airborne right now, and I want to thank you for your continued service. My hair care routine it's pretty simple. I do this both when I wake up and then shortly before I go to bed. So what I like to do, I get in the shower, but I put on a full cap. It's got to stay dry in there. Then I get into a separate shower that's just for my hair. I'm wearing a reverse shower cap that's plastic everywhere but the hair. Now, I like to use an herbal essence shampoo. It's not the one from the brand Herbal Essence. I find plants and I yell at them until they give up their essence to me. I rub that sap right into my hair. Then I'm still wearing that reverse shower cap. I dip my head into a bath full of virgin's blood. I got the idea from a category I had done a few weeks ago in this very program. And I've got to say, it's been stronger at the root. Yeah. And then I just kind of scream at the hair until it gets into place and stays there. I hope that answers your question.
Sounds delicious. Now let's bring it over to Chris.
First of all, it's wonderful to have you as a part of the debate. It's been delightful having you a part of my household, so it's just great that you finally get a chance to have a voice here. And so thank you for that, and also thank you for your compliments. My hair care routine is very important to me. It's very basic. It's very basic. It's very natural. I don't like to do a lot of maintenance or frou-frou things. What you see is basically what you get. So essentially, I get up in the morning. The first thing I will do is walk down to the corner store. I buy a young goat. It's got to be a young goat. And then I will walk said goat kid, if you will, back to the shower, where I will ritually sacrifice to the hair gods. Particularly, there's an Aztec one that has been working great for me the last couple of months, because lately it's been getting a little too wavy in the back, and it sort of seems to keep things in line. And then once that happens, basically I just shower, rinse, repeat.
I was wondering what that flavor was. I couldn't put my little finger hands on it, and
it's goat.
It was kid. It was goat.
Yes.
Oh my goodness! Thank you so much. I'm going to move on to my next question. Okay, so one time I was in the kitchen of the Chili's 2 at O'Hare, and they just so happened to be getting a health inspection, and I was told that I was a health code violation, and I don't believe this to be true at all. So I'm going to leave it up to you. Off flies, health code violations. I'm going to start with Tommy.
That's a great question, and I want to thank you for your bravery in asking it in the face of this prejudice. No, right away. No, flies are not a health code violation. That's the problem with both the way this country and this game show have treated flies for a long time and our health codes. They're focused on human health. But what Chris isn't addressing is all of our non-human viewers. I'm talking about dogs and cats that are near laptop screens watching while this is on. I'm talking about flies who stream this on phones that they've stolen from the people whose homes they're in. And of course, I'm talking about ants. Not only my own aunts, but several colonies of ants that make up a large part of our viewership. These things are not health code violations. These things are healthy creatures, and I think we need a health code that reflects that reflects all of us, except for vampires who cannot be reflected, but they should still be included.
Thank you. I agree on the vampires. Chris, we'll bring it over to you.
Now, in contrast to my opponent, I will actually answer the question that you have asked. And I think the distinction here is not that flies are or are not a health code violation. It's what are those flies doing before, during, and after they sit down to eat. Now, I understand the importance of cleanliness, and I know for a fact there's nothing more clean than your common housefly. And now, most people don't pay attention, but if you've ever seen one up close, and I'm sure you can attest to this, what are they doing? They're washing their hands. They're constantly washing their hands. And they get them, and they wash them, and they rinse them, and then they eat, and then they wash their hands, and then they eat, and then they wash their hands. Now, if you ask me, there's nothing more sanitary than constant and proper hand washing. Now, what I will say is part of my platform as host is to make sure that we can get the proper PPE and masks that flies need so that they can dine in safely and cover their faces so that they are not at risk of contagion themselves.
Thank you.
Sorry, may I rebut that for a moment? My opponent's giving you the classic Rhode Island runaround. He's interested only in flies that are clean. I'll make sure that my campaign reaches out to flies not only that are clean, but that are trying to get clean or that are still in the grips of their addiction. I'll reach out to all of them across the board because that's what a game show host does. Talks to flies.
Thank you so much. Flies we do wash our hands all the time. We are like the raccoons of the sky. All right, I'm gonna move on to my next question. Tsetse flies, good or bad? We'll start with Chris.
I will say misunderstood. Now, we all know that tsetse flies are the main contributor to the human population of dengue fever, a fact that people who watch the show would know, as it has come up as a question before in play. Now, dengue fever, obviously not something to joke around about, but the tsetse flies themselves, they are doing what a tsetse fly does. And what a tsetse fly does is fly, land, eat, and in the process, they happen to give somebody dengue fever. Well, that's just a natural part of progression. Now, I will say that I am not pro-dengue fever. I am pro-mosquito netting. I am pro-anti-malarials. I am pro-vaccine. I am pro-making sure that we can live in harmony with tsetse and, let's just say, all flies across the board. And as host, I will continue to maintain a proper pro-insect relationship between my show and the people who watch.
All right, thank you. Moving on to Tommy.
Same question. I feel that flies are flies, and flies are, of course, people, no matter where they're from, if they're from CT, Connecticut, RI, Rhode Island, regardless of where these flies originate, they are people, they are members of Quarantine Nation, and they deserve the same protection under game show law. Thank you.
I will make one quick rebuttal to Mr. Spears' point. Now, while I have an open approach to how I handle insects on the show, I will say I do not stand for anything that comes from the state of Connecticut.
We are aligned on that train of thought. I am going to leave you with my last question. So I recently took a nannying job downtown, and I'm thinking about quitting because the kids are absolutely bullying me. Flies only have a 30-day lifespan, so when we're born, we're already getting chased by the Reaper, and these children are really mean. So I'm going to ask this: is it considered cheating in hide and seek if you can't cover your eyes because you can see 360 degrees?
Who was that question for first?
We'll start with you, Tommy.
I want to thank you. I do not consider this cheating. This reminds me of an important story from a voter I met. Now, she was working as, I believe, a counter girl in Flushing, Queens, when her boyfriend dumped her in one of those crushing scenes. Where was she to go? What was she to do? She was out on her fanny. So over the bridge from Flushing to the Sheffield's door, she was there to sell makeup, but the father saw more. And that's the kind of American success story that we all need to be seeing more of. That's how she became the nanny. Thank you.
All right, taking it to Chris.
Now, I just need to take a moment to, first of all, thank you for your hard work. And thank you for what you do, because it is not easy raising children, even if those children are not yours and you are being paid to do it. So first and foremost, thank you as a hardworking American. But also, to your point, I don't believe that you should feel like you are somehow going outside the realm of what is possible or what is allowable because you have the talent to go and see 360 degrees around you. And to further that point, I would like to say I don't believe that it's anything negative for anybody who is vastly more talented than their opponent to be able to reap the benefits of having a skill set that makes them much more valuable and much more attuned to being able to do a task. So keep that in mind when you're voting later on tonight. But to answer your question, no, it's not cheating. You go get those little suckers. You go find them because they're brats and they deserve to get caught.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, thank you both so much for your time. I think I'm going to go break into some of that cassoulet you have in the fridge over here. Maybe lay a couple eggs or something.
Just make sure you save me a bite.
I will. It's a liquid diet. It'll take me a long time to eat all those beans.
All right, thank you, Fly. It seems that he really dug deep into the issues there.
Oh, Al.
I know. All right. So I'd like to announce that in just a moment, we're going to be officially opening the polls in our live chat. Please make sure to get in there. Take the time to cast your votes for your choice for the next host of Quarantine the Game Show, while our candidates are going to be giving their closing statements. And if I may, Tommy, if you'd like to start off with your closing statement, and we'll go from there.
I want to thank you, Al, for moderating this debate and leading us successfully to the ending, a Moses of sorts. Now, I had prepared a statement, but honestly, I've always wanted to tear a prepared statement up live on the air and speak from the heart. So this is going to come from right over here, where my pacemaker is. Chris Iannucci wants you to believe that he wants to run a fair game, but he never does. It's always for the coastal elites. It's always for the people who already have money, who are already ahead. Sometimes they're people who are so rich, they're literally already just a head in a jar, preserved by cryogenics. That's not my game at all right? I'm into categories of people like mothers and brothers and nieces and nephews. I'm into American hardworking people. I'm into flags and troops. And did I mention apple pie? Well, I'm doing it right now with my thumb, all right? If I am elected, I promise you, no one who can see the ocean will ever appear on this show. None of the answers will be withheld from people beforehand, creating an unfair, competitive atmosphere. And more than anything, we're going to feature a lot of pyrotechnics on the show. It's going to be dangerous and exciting, the way America was back when it was great. When Evel Knievel was performing stunt shows that almost killed him. And I think if we can get back to that America, this is going to be a successful game show. That's all I've got to say.
All right. Thank you, Tommy. Just want to see, did we get the poll up?
It is up and running, yes.
Okay. Just wanted to double check. And with that, we're going to go right into Chris. Chris, it's time if you'd like to make your closing statement.
Well, I would first and foremost like to start by saying that I tore up my prepared statement earlier, but only because I've always wanted to put back together a previously torn up statement that I can then read, if I may. Thank you to everybody who has watched the show. Whether tonight was your first night joining us for this very special election special, or if you've been with us since the beginning, I can't tell you how much it has meant to me that we have had people who have come back week after week, or people who have joined us and enjoyed the show. It's been just such a personal point of pride for myself that we've been able to get people week after week to come and do something in the midst of something that's just so terribly and just very, very frustratingly keeping us apart. And that is from the bottom of my heart. I really can't thank anybody who watches this show enough. But more to the point, when it comes to the election tonight, I think that what people who are casting their vote need to remember is that I am somebody who has created the show from a place of bringing everyone together, from a place of trying to create a sense of community, a place where we can laugh and learn and love and have fun. And I pulled the show up from its bootstraps. I'm not like Mr. Spears. I wasn't handed a game show from an early age and given the opportunity to run it into the ground. And now I know that for some people it may seem like I'm a bit of an insider. I'm a career game show host. I'm somebody who's not speaking for the outliers. But believe me when I say, stick with me. Stick with Chris. Stick with Quarantine the Game Show. The game show that you know, the game show that you love, the game show that's only going to get better until they finally make a vaccine, and then we'll go do something else. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Chris. Thank you both for your fantastic closing statements. And we're looking at the vote here. Just a second. Let me double check my notes going back to the scores. And the online polls are in. So I would like to announce that as of now, Tommy Spears will be the next host of Quarantine the Game Show.
Oh,
I want to thank you all.
Do I get 2 seconds? Can I just cast my own vote?
Oh, you didn't even vote?
No, I'm sorry. We got caught up in the debate. I hadn't had a chance. I gotta hold on one second. I'm just gonna click.
That's the kind of irresponsibility you can expect from this man. I've already voted 4 times.
All right. No, I just cast my vote.
So this is strange. Just a second. All right. So it seems that if we look at the Electoral College map, Chris casted his vote, and yes, it seems that the district his apartment is in counts for 1,000 Electoral College votes, which adds 100,000 points to his initial score, making him the winner, and as a result, the continued host of Quarantine. This is unbelievable.
I gerrymandered the crap out of my apartment before this debate tonight, so
Terrible.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I'm left with the grim duty of making a concession speech. So, what can I say to my supporters? We ran a good campaign. We weren't terribly corrupt. Where we were corrupt, we were very good at hiding it. But what can I say? In the end, it's the problem every stepfather faces. I can try hard, and I can give you everything you want, but at the end of the day, Chris is your real dad, and disappointing as he is, he's going to keep showing up and making your mother cry, but he'll be there for you when it's convenient for him. Now, excuse me, I do need to make a call. It's voicemail. Chris, hi, it's Tommy. I just wanted to touch base if that writing position for Quarantine was still open. I just had some things free up, so, call me back. It would be great. Sorry.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Spears. Thank you again for being here. Chris, did you want to say anything?
I just got a voicemail, but I'll check that later. I would just like to thank my opponent for a race well run, sort of. And you know what, Tommy, I think you got a lot of spirit, kid. And I really think that if you stick with it, someday you too may host a game show. I don't know. I can't.
I hear you loud and clear, Chris. I'm seceding from Quarantine Nation. We're going to start a rogue game show in the ocean. You follow my Twitter for that.
All right. We look forward to it. And thank you to everybody, especially me, who voted in tonight's election. So thank you so much.
All right. Thank you both. And that brings us to the end of our debate. We hope you all had a great evening and that the riots and the looting over the results will be kept to a minimum, please. I'd like to thank both of our candidates and congratulate Chris once again. And if you haven't voted in the actual election yet, go vote. What are you waiting for? There's still time. Go do it.
Get out there. Yeah, seriously, go vote.
Gotta go vote.
Do it.
This is a joke. There's like a real election going on tomorrow. Go vote if you haven't voted.
It's not important. Vote.
Yeah.
So don't forget to like.
Biden thing is real?
Oops, sorry. What?
The Trump Biden thing is like a real thing?
That's a real thing. Yeah.
No, Tommy, they're not doing like what we were doing. Like, that's a real thing.
Game show. I thought that was another game show. That's my mistake.
No, totally real. Yeah.
Well, then you should vote because this is getting crazy.
Right.
Yeah.
Go vote. And also, don't forget to like and follow us on Facebook, and be sure to tune in 2 weeks from today for our next show. We're taking 1 week off, but we'll be back in 2 weeks. And Chris, you're still the host. Send us off, buddy.
Thank you to everybody who watched tonight, and as we like to say every week, and as I will continue to say every week, stay safe, stay sane, and take care of each other. And go vote, and have a great week. We'll see you all soon.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.